Hello and a very
Yes.
warm welcome to this morning show teeing off with RevSportz. I'm Shubhayan Chakravarti joined by Bharat Ramaraj. And we have our first finalist of IPL 2023. That is four-time champions and of course, who else but MS Dhoni's Chennai Super Kings. They defeated defending champions Gujarat Titans by 15 runs yesterday in qualifier 1 and sealed their spot in their 10th final, in what will be their 10th final in 14 seasons in IPL. Bharat, unreal consistency. CSK are once again in the final.
Yeah, that is something that's what history says. Obviously, with MS Dhoni as the captain, they seem to have he seems to have some Midas touch where CSK somehow, even if not this season, but even if they're struggling a little bit, they somehow get through to the playoffs and then with the Midas touch going to win the trophy. Once they reach the final, difficult to
Hmm.
say they will lose, but obviously Mumbai Indians have had their what can you say, the share of jailbreaks. So if they come, if they somehow make their way to the final, you never know. But once it is the final, I guess you would be rather backing CSK only. Yeah, it was something yesterday on a turning track at home. They always perhaps were the favorites, though GT also had the spinners, but Jadeja on such kind of a track, on a turning track, it was always going to be difficult for GT to chase down 172, and you have to give it to Gaikwad as well. That 60 he made. Yeah, he was early on that Noble also definitely went against.
Hmm.
So the small things in a match where you lose by 15 runs, the small things definitely play a big part.
Of course, and small things. And now that Gujarat Titans have lost, people were questioning why did Hardik Pandya decide to bowl first at a chip off track. Do you think that was something which could have played a slight role?
You can say that, but perhaps
Sorry.
he thought
Yeah.
of you and decided to go that way. But again, you can
Hmm.
control what is in front of you. Dew is something that's uncontrollable. Sometimes comes, although humidity is at 79%, but still you can't predict things. These things you can do what
Yeah.
is in front of you. The pitch is slightly dry, then try to bat first. Even my mother kept saying, though I told her maybe it is because of the dew factor, he decided to go that way. But she said logically, Hardik should have batted first on this turning track. But that's what happened, and now they have to just press the erase button and move forward and look to the next match, towards the next match.
Thoughts on that Devon Convoy knock?
They
Sorry, this
struggled,
flu is killing me.
but again,
Yeah, Devon Conway.
they struggled a bit, as you know, but we have to, I'm also getting a bit of flu. But but they have to consider the pitch conditions as well as you know. It was turning a bit, so it's not like he deliberately tried to pick up singles or something. It was definitely mistiming quite a few times, mishitting. So just was one of those days where he couldn't find his groove.
Hmm. Now that another decision which I think was a bit wavered was Hardik promoting himself ahead of Vijay Shankar. Thoughts on that?
Maybe he thought
Sorry,
I will lead from the front. I'm
it's
the
done.
captain. I will lead from the front. I'm the
Yeah,
captain. I will lead from the front
yeah, he
and
has
win
done
the
that.
game.
He has done that numerous times in league stages, Bharat. But my point is that in a knockout match, it can go against you.
Yeah, there are always two sides of the coin. So he
Hmm.
took that decision. Go back the 2011 World Cup. Dhoni took that decision. If it failed first ball, if it got out, people would have gone after him. Hardik decided
Yeah.
this is the time to lead from the front. It just didn't work out.
Hmm. Point. And then And then David Miller, the spin duo of Rashid Khan and Noor Ahmed. Your thoughts on them?
Rashid Khan, Noor Ahmad, I think I thought they bowled pretty well, but Jadeja, in the kind of conditions that we saw, I think is a different is a different bowler altogether because he bowls quicker through the air and he gets imparts revs on the ball. He can some occasionally flight the ball. And if you look at his
Hmm.
seam rotation, you can't pick much. Sometimes it goes straight, sometimes it turns off the pitch. That is the magic of side spin. It's not
Hmm.
exactly some out of overspin. He gets a little bit some kind of side spin. On this kind of conditions, I think Jadeja is a different kind of bowler. So Rashid Khan, Noor, they bowled well. Noor Ahmad especially looked good with
Hmm.
some of his deliveries. Control also was good, but Jadeja to Miller, again, that's what he does. He did to Steve Smith as well in the Test series. If you
Yeah.
notice, exact. It was almost like it hit the exact same good line spot, maybe 1 inch or 2 inches here and there. One ball went
Hmm.
straight, the next ball just turned away, and you could see Smith
Hmm.
was very surprised because the seam rotation there was nothing like it was going to be an arm ball or a straighter one. Similar seam
Hmm.
rotation, it did different things. Not too sure when someone does that, you can blame the batter like what happened to Smith there.
Oh, absolutely. And after that, Jadeja's tweet also is trending right now at the moment. I woke up and saw that he was holding that Upstock's most valuable player of the match award. He wrote that even Upstocks understands, but the fans don't. So it was a dig at some of the CSK fans who are not valuing him this season. And everything, every focus, every limelight
I
every talk is about MS Dhoni.
don't know whether I have to say these words, but CSK and Jadeja, it seems like love-hate story. Sometimes they love him, sometimes they seem to hate him.
I
Especially
mean,
going against Indians.
yeah, I mean, it's very interesting because you have someone like MS Dhoni who can still, tell players, okay, I know things are going against you, but you have to be there. You can't leave this franchise. If MS Dhoni says that, players listen to that. But with Jadeja, it's a very topsy turvy at the moment. I have to say, with this fans, the bittersweet relation with the fans. A couple of days ago, he also made a post, and even that post match presentation where he said, "मैं अगर ऊपर आता हूँ तो लोग चाहते हैं कि मैं आउट हो जाऊँ ताकि वो माही भाई को देख सके अगर मैं लेट आता हूँ तो लोग चाहते हैं कि वो जल्दी आउट हो जाए क्योंकि माही भाई को स्ट्राइक दे दे." So and Suresh Raina replied to that he's writing with it with so much pain. So true about that. But Bharat, I asked you about Noor Ahmed and Rashid Khan. When as a general fan, when I see them bowl, they look like an exact mirror copy. Uh, do you think they are similar bowler or there are subtle differences?
Maybe not exactly noticed in terms of
Mm-hmm.
directions and all. Maybe I'm saying in
Mm-hmm.
terms of seeing it with a microscope or something like that. But it,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps Noor Ahmad has slightly higher arm for us to again
Hmm.
see it with a microscope. But with Rashid Khan, it seems like his arm is slightly lower comparatively. Noor Ahmad, slightly taller
Mm-hmm.
man, so maybe he gets a little bit of bounce. But otherwise, yeah, it feels like there are some similarities in terms of how they bowl through the air and those little bit of variations in terms of googly for Noor and the Chinaman, and obviously Rushid Khan doesn't just have one googly, as you know, he has some four googlies with slight different variations. But in terms of actions and all, yeah, it seems like there are some similarities. So it feels like maybe Noor Ahmad is slightly higher arm of the two.
And how good has been Mohammad Shami? I mean, the Shami has had his fair share of criticism when it comes to his T20 cricket. Too much length balls, too many length balls, too many slot deliveries. In the previous seasons, I'm talking about, but in the last season and this time around, I'm seeing a drastic change in Mohammad Shami, the T20 bowler. Is it true? Because when it comes to power play, he dominates. He seams the ball. He swings the ball. He bowls with good pace and in good channels. I mean, right now he has to be one of the best power play bowlers in limited overs cricket. Of course, in ODI cricket he does better. Thoughts, Bharat?
Yeah, I guess that we also have to give credit to how the GT side has used him, or they backed him. Maybe some other sides didn't back him as well
Thoughts,
because,
Bharat or Mohammad Shami?
yeah, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. If you're able to hear, GT side's think tank also has to be praised for the way they backed him. So somehow I don't think it's changed much in terms of his strategy. Hit the seam, is
Hmm.
looking to swing the ball, is looking to seam the ball. That's he's bowled on a good length. That's basically the way
Yeah,
he
yeah.
bowls in cricket. So in some ways, I would also credit to the Gujarat Titans camp,
Hmm.
including Mehra, Kirsten, and all for the way they backed him because maybe in some other of the previous seasons with other sides, he wasn't necessarily backed like this. So that is why they didn't get the kind of performance from him. Saying before JT. Uh, yeah, in terms of bowling, you just see someone is a quintessence. He's been a quintessential Mohammad Shami this season as well in terms of how he's bowled. Good length spot, upright seam. He gets it to seam a little bit. He gets it to swing a little bit. Lines and lengths are almost perfect. That is something that you see basically in Test cricket, and is carried that to T20 cricket, especially in the power play.
And thoughts on that Ruturaj Gaikwad knock? That laid the platform for CSK to win this match.
It's been a sort of slightly curious season, right? For him, we started on a bang. A few matches
Hmm.
in between, it didn't exactly go well for him. But again, the knockout match, he was back to his best, almost back to his best, and he took that brilliant catch as well.
Hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, right? And he took that one brilliant catch. So
Yeah.
he's always in the game. If not for his batting, I've seen him take some splendid catches. Again, uh, somehow I have to bring my mother as well here again. She again said she was the one who pointed that out. This guy somehow seems to take all the catches. That is when I remembered, yeah, this guy not just to the bat, he's also a very good fielder. So he's someone always in the game, seems to be always involved in the game, or he wants to be involved in the game. That's I think is his forte, and in big matches you expect him to fire, which he did.
And now let's move to the big match which will be played today. Mumbai Indians versus Lucknow Super Giants. Thoughts, Bharat? Two teams at Chennai. Uh, what do you think about this match? What are you expecting?
Maybe I would give slight advantage to LSG. I don't know. I just feel that way, gut feel, because of the kind of ballers they have
Hmm.
at the stadium. Uh, Maybe slightly two pace tracks. LSU might have a slight advantage. But again, Mumbai
Hmm.
Indians, you know what they've done under Rohit Sharma. So in crunch games, expect them to fire. So maybe if they bat again, depends on the
With the
conditions.
kind of with the kind of bowling attack Mumbai Indians has had in this season, do you think they should be satisfied that they have reached the top four and like okay, winning the trophy with that bowling attack might be some sort of a miracle.
Yeah, miracle, but they have done miracles. I've seen it. Whatever it is, I've seen it. So I'm not completely ruling them out, but obviously their bowling attack looks
Hmm.
quite. I'm not saying weak, but quite modest. I don't know what will go inside again. Chris Jordan said when he's bowling the slog overs. Uh,
I don't think they will play Chris Jordan. I
I'm
don't
just
think they
saying,
will play Chris Jordan.
even if they pick someone else like Berentoff, all these guys.
Hmm.
So we're not sure. It looks like a gun bowling attack. Obviously, it's more of a modest bowling attack. But with Mumbai Indians, I won't rule them out. And again, at that particular stadium,
Hmm.
if they bat first, get some 150 runs, somehow get 160 runs, never know.
Hmm.
Let's know their batting lineup. There are a lot of shot makers. They might crumble. In those such conditions, if it turns out to be 140, 150 score, then that is when
Hmm.
they might remember again their man
And
who just
suddenly,
one
and
man.
suddenly you are 54-7.
No, no, I'm just saying they might again remember that one man who got injured if it turns out to be 140, 150 score. score.
This
Who
pitch,
plays
this
percentage,
pitch would have suited him. Yeah, this pitch would have
who
suited him.
plays percentage cricket, score 50 or 40 balls.
Perfect for Chepo. That is what Devon Conway did yesterday. He stuck around. He played. He
Yeah,
knew if I
that's what I'm
got
saying.
40 runs, yeah.
To his credit, he fought for. He was not willing to give it away. He wanted to fight it out, and that is where you have to give him credit, some credit. He definitely scratched around. It's not like, as I said, deliberately. He was not trying to take singles or something. He was just mistiming, mishitting, but kept fighting and got some decent runs. In a way, you can say the same about Vijay Shankar against, I'm saying against RCB, though it was a flat pitch, but in the context of the game, looking at that GT lineup, David Miller and all, there are more of shot makers, Rahul Tiwari, even Hardik Pandya. I guess at that particular moment, Vijay Shankar 53 of 30, 35, support he gave to kill turned out to be a good knock. So in the same way, Conway also played a decent knock because on that pitch, 170, that's a really good score, especially with due not coming
Hmm. So if I have to ask you about your fantasy captain, who would it be?
today.
You have become a sort of a fantasy master for all of us now.
I hardly played, so you're asking to a person who hardly plays it. I, maybe I will go with Stoinis.
Hmm. But you think his slower off cutters and slower ones will come handy?
I'm thinking from an all-round point of view. I think he's improved his game versus
Hmm.
spin. If you had asked me just even 2 years ago, I would have said no chance on a slow track because I saw him play T20 against England. I think it was in 2021. It seemed like he had no idea of how to play on a slow track. Whatever England did with the slow bowlers or slog when Chris Jordan bowled those cutters, he absolutely had no idea to play on a slow track. But in 2023, the way he's playing, I think he's put in some hard work against spin. So an all-round basis and also a slower short ones and also maybe he could be a decent pick.
And who is playing Gujarat Titans then in the qualifier too?
Yeah, that's what I said. I just have an inkling that LSG is slight favorites in this. Looking at it on an
Hmm.
overall, I know their batting lineup can be flaky. If they have to bat
Hmm.
second chase in 60, LSG might collapse. Who runs Stoinis and all the shot makers suddenly they might lose their way. But looking at it on an overall basis, their bowling lineup with Krunal Pandey as well, Bishna as well, all these bowlers, LSG I will give a slight edge.
LSG is what Bharat is saying. Let us know what you think. Who will play Gujarat Titans in the final? Big match day. Lucknow Super Giants versus Mumbai Indians. We'll be back tomorrow to discuss what happened in tonight's match and who will be playing Gujarat Titans in the qualifier too. Thank you, Bharat, for joining, and thank you everyone for watching. Also, we'll be back tomorrow. Till then, have a great day.